Great God Grove is a recently released indie game from LimboLane Games, which is run by the duo Hugo Limbo and Day Lane. Hugo primarily focused on the art direction of the game, from the characters to the set pieces, and Day focused on programming, production, 3D modeling, puzzle design, and heavily contributed to the writing. The duo has given us other titles too, such as Smile for Me and Face Love, two games I would love to show on here. Personally, Hugo and Day have given us something very special. According to Hugo, both myself and Day wanted a game where you could save the day by helping others communicate, and meet a bunch of bizarre gods while you're at it. And that truly is like the most straightforward explanation of Great God Grove. You are made the new God Poke, which is a messenger that uses the power of words and dialogue to help the gods reconcile with themselves and their people. Unfortunately, the gods are fighting, and it's all because of the previous God Poke named King, who suddenly became a super bad guy and nobody can find them. Incredibly convenient. Wait, what's that in the distance? You travel throughout the cities of the Grove in order to help everyone you can, exploring mixed media landscapes and unique characters, loads of dialogue combinations, various puzzles, and it's all to help the gods come together and close the rift. This is a story that, at its core, is about communication, which feels topical. But I mean, Great God Grove actually has so much to say, from the rewriting of history to media censorship to the power of love and art, and even fighting against fascism. I'll be telling the story of Great God Grove from start to finish, so if you don't want to be spoiled, skip here. It's a spoiler warning! Also, hi, I'm Kippenstein, and I like to talk about media and such. What? Hi, I'm Kippenstein, and I like to talk about media and anything that I find cool, so allow me to yap for a bit. You are a traveler on your way to the Grove to witness the Festival of the Rift and the Ascension of King. You're even in a little King cosplay. I just wanna be part of your. During your travels from the sky falls into your hands Megapon, a magic megaphone that can take and give people speech and various items. Once you arrive to the island, things are not looking great. People are concerned with the rain flooding the cove area, which you learn is actually the tears of Miss Mitternacht, the eldest god and keeper of the Grove Cove. The cove serves as a tutorial of sorts, showing lots of different ways the Megapon can be used and how you can use it to convince people. You also meet Inspecta, the god of leadership, and his team of bubbling blue minions, the Busy Boys. These are the cutest critters I've ever seen in my entire life, and I want to eat them like little fruit gummies! The Busy Boys consist of Al, P, Ban, Vib, and Gur. Their names will change throughout the game, as each Busy Boy is only given another letter to their name if they do a good job or a task correctly. Their leader is Capuchin, a devoted follower of Inspecta, even before he became a god. I would also just like everyone to know that Capuchin is in his 50s, according to Hugo. It's not really plot important, but it's important to me. That's an old man. This walking, talking Blue Muppet is an old man! I just wanna be part of your. Inspecta meets us in his high-tech mail van, since he's taken over the job for the time being, as he gives us the lowdown on King, the previous Godpoke, and the true owner of the Megapon. King's job was to be the communicator for folks and the gods, but has disappeared, at the same time as apparently writing nasty and manipulative letters to the gods. Inspecta, who was even the one to snatch the Megapon away from King before it found its way to us, thinks you'd be a great fit to take over King's role as Godpoke, and help the gods stop arguing. Don't you want to save the world? Miss Mitternacht is the first to help, as her crying is flooding the cove. She received a nasty letter from King as well, calling her a bag of bones and useless. Jesus Christ. She is the one grieving most about King's actions and disappearance. Due to the flooding, areas of the cove can only be accessed by helping Lumberjacklin, I freaking love her, fix bridges and discussing kind words to say to Miss Mitternacht. This is where we encountered the first of 4 VHS tapes, this one explaining how the rift works. The rift is a phenomena that occurs every 33 years and opens so that a human may become a god. Once elected by the people and godship bestowed, the gods then work together to close the rift. So, like, the gods being torn apart via, like, evil bad mail? Isn't that good? You also find Rosma, King's best friend, starting to paint a tridic for King's ascension. Rosma doesn't believe King would ever betray everyone like this, and believes something rotten is going on. Something is rotten in Denmark. I don't know what that was. You'll find Rosma traveling all over the grove and get to see her painting get filled in more and more as you progress. Eventually, we find the right words to say to Miss Mitternacht, that she knows in her heart King wouldn't say these things to her, and that something is wrong. We agree to help take on King's role, and once she calms down, the sun is shining and determination fills the air. There's still more work to do, though. As you leave the cove, and subsequently every time you move on to a new area, there are inspector machines that eat all of the dialogue you have saved up until that point, preventing the spread of misinformation. This sounds like something that could only have positive consequences. In Mildread, with the help of another letter from King, it has become a mess of budding cultists. Yay! Yugo and Day actually reveal a lot of inspiration in the official art book, which includes that the area of Mildread was inspired by the Pilgrim life and the story of the Crucible. With Mildred's history of the harvest being mostly lost and their crops dying, they believe a letter stating that their god, Cobbigail, the god of harvest, wants blood. A sacrifice! A sacrifice? That's not a good thing, Scoob. Saul Boggle, a nervous priest, has instilled himself as a leader, believing he would be seen as smooth and powerful enough to do what must be done. The town's members aren't so keen, with members like Saul's old friends, like Goody, Crucible Mention, and Baker thinking everything has gone a bit too far. But it's hard to convince them otherwise when even the wisecracking Cobbigail can't remember what the harvest was all about. But after finding all of the Scarecrow Brom's missing birds and convince Bud that you think Saul is a weenie, you find a passage in Bloom's Catahome in the last Mildred berry tree. By piecing together dialogue and a beautiful choir song that is being taught to the children, you discover the blood on the altar previous was in fact Mildred berry jam, which can only be edible with friendship. Shut up, this is the cutest thing I've ever seen. That song to help the Mildred berry grow used to be taught by Cobbigail back when she was human and a caring music teacher. Ah! These were never sacrifices in the town, but Cobbigail had forgotten after years of loneliness, and what everyone else had in succession was good food and community, neighbors caring for one another in each other's company. That is, and always was, the purpose of the harvest. The town comes together and celebrates with a big thank you from Cobbigail. Before we go, we can find another VHS tape, this time of the Busy Boys performing the God Awards, in which they give Inspector the highest honors. Go figure. We feed our dialogue to the funky Inspectobot and get stopped by the Busy Boys? Boys? Be busy? And apparently this is for the crime of stealing a pumpkin. Silly boys, we're on the same side. I'm sure you're just confused and Inspector will clear all this up. I'm gonna pat you on the head. Bite you. Now we're on to Hobbyhoo. The two gods who rule here are Thespius, the god of love and mirth, and Click-Clack, the god of storytelling. The show the two write, Oh Partner Mine, has officially hit Snoozeville. The performers receiving the edited scripts from Click-Clack, who thinks he should focus on making Thespius famous to gain the appreciation of his friend. When in reality, Thespius doesn't care about fame, and has always been in love with Click-Clack and just wants to create with him. Gay people are real, and they're in your video games. It's up to you here to help them realize their true feelings for one another and save the show from becoming a corporate shell of itself, or like an executive's wet dream, safe and heartless. And that's not really an exaggeration, like there's a network TV executive that comes to look at the show and says just as much. Nothing to challenge the audience makes for perfect ratings. Your task as the show's new PA, and with guidance from Thespius, comes with helping all of Hobbyhoo find love and connection to their work, whether that's inspiring the hit band to play again, exchanging praise for a dress, or setting up folks on speed dates. Even the Busy Boys are spreading the love. If spreading the love was celebrity stalking. Good detective work, boys. We eventually get through to Click-Clack that all the love and romance and joy of Oh Partner Mine that Thespius wrote, and that he edited out, was the story of Thespius and Click-Clack. This was Thespius' way of confessing his love. Once Click-Clack realizes this, we tell him it's not too late, and he frantically rewrites a romance and a confession into Oh Partner Mine's next episode, which we lovingly give to our director. The girls can kiss, the boys can kiss, everybody can kiss. It's My next hit, Kiss. Not that Kiss. Next VHS tape can be found in Click Clack's apartment, with Viv giving us the backstory of Inspecta and the Busy Boys. 30 years ago, Inspecta wasn't famous, wasn't powerful, just a mortal who wanted to be remembered, who wanted to do good and wanted to find meaning. This was when he banded together the Busy Boys, gave them a home, a family, and protected the grove alongside them. Eventually, the people voted him to become the god of leadership. Leadership! God, I know how to read. Speaking of the boys, the Busy Boys tried to stop us yet again on the way to Huzz, trying to arrest us for, well, no reason in particular this time, it seems. Even P doesn't understand and asks why we're fighting when we're friends. After a well-fought battle, though, Capuchin says he doesn't care if we were made deputy, that he knows best, and Inspecta doesn't really need us. Well, obviously he does, because y'all ain't getting any work done. If every other area didn't wear its themes on its sleeve enough for you, then Huzz will. But let's backtrack a little bit. Okay, I'm going to take a moment to address something that has become increasingly obvious throughout the gameplay, which is every step of the way, it seems shockingly that Inspecta is not in fact helping you on your quest, but busy plastering his likeness everywhere, from standees, posters, sculptures, and here we're greeted with a huge wall and gate, with sharp wires blocking our path. More posters of Inspecta. Alexei tells us we need official papers to be let in. He didn't say what kind, so we collect those posters of Inspecta to get inside. Huzz was described to us as a city of innovation, art, ideas, home to two gods, Bauhauzo, the god of memory, and Huzzlemug, the god of innovation. Two siblings, two sides of the same coin. And due to a letter from King, and the Busy Boys misunderstanding a sign from Bauhauzo, the city of Huzz has now been taken over, turned into a complete dictatorship. This sign from Bauhauzo was taken as a divine word to go back to the way things were, ancient laws and arbitrary rules. Capuchin has forced Huzzlemug into hiding and erased all art from the streets, and has forbidden creative speech, explaining how there doesn't need to be any more useless gods. And I don't think this is about Bauhauzo. Speaking of which, he explains he never wanted things to go back to the past. As the god of memory, Bauhauzo remembers and experiences everything that has ever happened all at once. Something he describes as follows.
I am history. I am memory. I am time. I hold the record of all I have seen, in excruciating detail. Yes, not a moment has escaped me. Every second I have witnessed, I remember and experience it all as if it were new. Scraped knees, raised voices, caresses, the scent of a late loved one's home-cooked meal, the reflection of war-born flames on water, the turn of centuries, the turn of millennia. It is overwhelming, it is oppressive, but it is beautiful. Beautiful to behold every delicate moment I have witnessed. I cherish it all, good and bad. I do. I am crying. Yes, I will not apologize for this behavior. You would cry too, if you were I and you were me, wouldn't you? Yes, you would. Yes, wouldn't you? I know you can see why, yes. Look at what has become of our Huzz.
This moment has stuck with me since the very moment he spoke. The past should be learned from. History is horrible. History is beautiful. If you ignore it, you will always make the same mistakes. Maybe even evils over and over again. Also, he misses his sibling. Please help.
Oh, Huzzlemug, what have I done to my sibling? What have I done to it? I miss it so much. Yes, I do. My compatriot, Huzzlemug. It has been sealed away. I don't know where. No, it hurts tremendously.
From here, we want to join the guerrilla artist resistance, talking to Huzzlemug and finding nonsense words to access the resistance base. It's time to meet the squad. Oh, mother! We execute various missions and puzzles to paint the town in an act of resistance and save the art supplies, creating paint, messing up Capuchin, and defacing the nostalgic monument from Bauhauzo to have it instead show exactly what Inspecta and Capuchin are doing to the other gods. Now confronted with the mirror, the busy boys learn how horrid they've been. They want to help and be good. Even P, who has wanted to befriend us the whole time, has this moment of clarity and wants to stand up to Capuchin. Art is returning to Huzz. Huzzlemug and its sibling reunited, and everyone is celebrating, drawing whatever brings them joy in the streets. But it's not over yet. Before you continue, you can go into the mini-mart to watch the final VHS tape. Instead of the regular Busy Boy produced videos, this seems to be a home video made by Capuchin. In it, he explains how to make Inspecta's favorite meal, a devotion burgie. It says, "Eat me up! I'm your loyalist. Capuchin goes on to gather the ingredients, explaining how he is the only one that can make this burger, show Inspecta how much he cares. Romaine lettuce, sesame buns, pickles, if you're nasty. But we're missing the most important ingredient, the meat. How do we get it? Well...
Oh my god.
The meat needs brute force, strength, the will to carry out orders. It must be done. Inspecta needs strength. Inspecta needs power. Don't think, make yourself useful. And once it's tenderized, we cook it down to its essentials. Get rid of everything tasteless. Inspecta needs a uniform flavor. Only useful, only delicious. Cook yourself down to win his love, and when you're done, the burger can be assembled. Jam them together. Make it fit like you never have. Give them a home, a chance to be loved, a chance to feel normal. Why won't you fit in? Capuchin wonders if it will fit, if Inspector rules, if he sees he's followed him to the very end, and if he sees how much he loves him, how much he is devoted to him. I need to fit in. This is the most important tape you can watch in this game. It provides a deeper understanding into the relationship between Capuchin and Inspecta. One who is so devoted and wanting a home to be loved in, that he's willing to risk it all on the one who forgot about him. When you wear rose-tinted glasses. Before we reach the spire, we are met by Capuchin. This final busy boy battle has us using Capuchin's own words fed to an Inspecta bot, putting words into Inspecta's mouth and showing Capo that no matter how devoted he is, no matter how much love and trust he puts into Inspecta, in reality, Inspecta was going to take him down just like everybody else. He stopped caring about Capuchin long ago in his wallowing of fear and power. Capuchin didn't get special treatment for being loyal. When he does, the remorse sets in. He tells us to stop Inspecta. At last, the final showdown. We find Inspecta's mail van and free King, who has been there all along at the top of the spire. She and all of our new god friends work together to try to close it, but Inspecta finally shows, ready to put a stop to us. As we fight to get back our Megapon, this is when we learn the reason behind Inspecta's goal. He feels lonely and inadequate, and most importantly, afraid. Afraid of being completely forgotten, afraid of not being wanted, afraid of never being remembered the way he wants. Using the Megapon, we have to get through to Inspecta with the words of his friends, of King. They have always loved him and wanted him. But is this how he wants to be remembered? That's when we learn of Inspecta's real name. His name before godhood, before his madness, before everything. Hector. Hearing his name, facing his shame, Inspecta once again becomes mortal. Hector once more. But despite him being crushed by guilt, the rift is still opening, the gods struggling. It's opened too far, but the busy boys and all our new friends have come to help lend a hand. To protect the grove, to protect their friends and neighbors, and with the leadership of Hector, finally seal the rift, just in time for King to ascend to godhood. Hector decides to remain mortal to figure out what makes him him again. He asks us if we'd be willing to help him help others, and to learn from us, as we join everyone back at the bottom of the spire. Like, what can't I say about Great God Grove? It has a deep-rooted emphasis on love going hand in hand with creativity, two of my favorite things! How love breeds innovation, how caring about one another is a strength, not a hindrance, how love and creativity are more important than greed and corporations, how your community means everything, how to fight back against a system that refuses to learn from the past, and how blindly following a dictator will lead you to destruction. It also leaves us with, I think, a very important question for the entirety of the game. How do you want to be remembered? And if I had to come up with an answer, as someone who cared, a friend to a community, and those are the lessons we need to hear now more than ever. Thanks for letting me yap, and remember, be brave, be kind, take care of yourselves. Night-night.